So Dragon Ball Super Chapter 102 is incredibly insane, but there is a hidden detail in the back throughout this entire chapter, a constant from a character that we really have been getting a lot of information about very recently that I don't think a lot of YouTubers are talking about. I don't think many people are talking about this guy and his reaction to what's going on. This is what makes it interesting. So let's jump into the chapter, and if you can pinpoint what I'm talking about, well, let me know in the comment section below. But gotta do it, guys. Goku versus Gohan. Who do you think is going to win? Let's jump in. Chapter 102 literally starts off where 101 left off, with Carmine's attempt to try to do something to beat Gohan and have Goten and Trunks be complicit in it, but the transformation to Beast brings everybody together, and now Goku has entered the scene. Goku is here for one thing and one thing only, and that is Gohan's transformation. Not just Gohan himself, he wouldn't do that. It's Gohan's Beast transformation, and this interaction is just so funny. Goku wants to see it in action, but not on planet Earth, so he invites Gohan to Beerus' planet. That way he can see his new form, and I honestly love this because you can tell, especially Toyotaro, how long he's been doing this, how long he's been a fan. You can tell that he's drawing in the excitement from Gohan's perspective, that there is something that his father is seeing in him, just like when he was a kid, that's extremely special. And so Gohan literally is just flying on cloud 9 right now because he finally gets Daddy's approval. And Goku, I mean, like this line right here, fine, hurry up and get changed, I can wait. Like look how peeved. This is peeved Goku. Goku's peeved, he's gotta wait for this transformation. He then sideline invites Goten and Trunks after he sees that they're kind of like just there, so why not come to Beerus' planet? And Carmine is realizing that something crazy is going on, or something crazy is about to go on, or he dodged a beast bullet and he wants to floor it and get out of there. But before he can, Goten and Trunks get into the car, and Goku is going to transport everybody to Beerus' planet at once. As soon as Gohan gets back donning his master's gi, Goku uses instant transmission, bringing everybody to Beerus' planet. And you can see right here, Beerus is scratching his butt as he is watching with Vegeta Whis do Pilates or yoga with everybody else. At this point now, he may just be watching Chi-Lai because we already know how much of a crush he's got on her. This statement will be important later down in the video. Everybody is visibly shocked to see how many people are on Beerus' planet. And Goten and Trunks, this is the first time they've been here, and this is madly important because you can obviously tell what Toyotaro is trying to do with Goten and Trunks, and I'm here for it. He is pushing them in the mainstream. He is trying to make them main characters, and they're going to have a very important part to play in the future of Dragon Ball, I guarantee it. Now, the funniest part is that Carmine and his minion are both there. Obviously, I said that was funny during the leaks, and it's just as funny here seeing like two normal humans on Beerus' planet. This really has never happened, so it's honestly a very refreshing thing to see, something unexpected like this. It's just a breath of fresh air since we've gotten so much of the same so recently. Goku is beaming because his son is what he is, saying, I hear you were the star of the show, you know, you're amazing, I want to see this new transformation. He is glowing Gohan up, and Gohan definitely deserves it. And even when Gohan's like, oh, the Red Ribbon Army thing, sure, like, you know, he's being modest about it, Goku cuts him off. Well, want to show me? We might as well spar a little. Honestly, I don't mind this coming from Goku. Yeah, Goku, you know, isn't much of the family guy in the sense like Vegeta has become, where he always wants to, you know, pop in with the family, all that stuff, and, you know, just kind of check in. No, he is super excited for a fight. He's super excited to see something new when it comes to power, and he's just so much more excited that it's Gohan. This is how Goku shows his love, is being this excited and hyped up for Gohan, and Gohan is just cheesing. He is chiclets all in his mouth. He is so happy to not only be on the planet of the gods, but have his dad's blessing to use his brand new transformation and basically show off. It's what Goku's basically saying. He's saying show off. Beerus is not having it. The nerve, storming my planet just to have some fun. What's the harm? It could be a delightful spectacle. This isn't going to be important later, so just keep an eye on this. And as Gohan and Goku both stretch, Goku asks him what this new form is called. Gohan's so happy to say that it is Beast and that Piccolo was the one that named it. Goku is just surprised that Gohan can like go into it at will, relatively easily. Gohan says, yeah, you've always told me I need to be ready to fight at a moment's notice, and I finally got the message. This is big ups. The Gohan that we knew is gone. That's basically what this chapter is saying. It's saying the forefront is going to be Goten and Trunks, two characters that have been sidelined but now are mainlined, and now Gohan, he's not going to be falling back on, oh, I just, I'm done training, I'm not really training, I'm rusty. He's not falling on that anymore. He's got a transformation that gets him on the ready 110%. He says, though it was Piccolo who taught me the trick to better control, which if Piccolo can teach better control, it's something that Goku and Vegeta could both learn from Piccolo, since, they both have transformations that they don't seem to have full control with the information we have now. Remember, I know it's been a long time since the Granola arc, but even back then they both had a very stressful relationship with these two transformations. So yeah, like they are still trying to learn as far as we know. Now Goku wants to spar with Piccolo next because Piccolo got a new form, and Vegeta's like, ahem, did you prove yourself useful as well? Me? Yeah, duh, I played a huge part. Right, Goten? Sure. I wish you could have seen it, Dad. All our slick combo moves. Combo moves? Yeah, since we're a team, when we combine our power, no opponent stands a chance. Hey Kakarot, why not pick Gohan against these two whelps first? I love this, and again, this is showcasing that Toyotaro is pushing Goten and Trunks into the mainstream. He is pushing them forward, Vegeta's pushing them forward. Vegeta realizes that Gohan has gotten so much stronger and has really leveled up, while Goten and Trunks are literally playing video games, or playing games, doing both basically, and not getting as strong as Gohan. Now Gohan was not training, but he has trained before. He's definitely trained more than Goten and Trunks, so I'm glad that Vegeta's like, nah, let them fight Gohan. And the only reason this is happening is because we are about to get a Goten and Trunks focused story that is hardcore and not family friendly like it's been before. I guarantee it. They're going to be prime in the next arc, and they all say that's fine. 110% Goten and Trunks are down. They want to jump in, they want to be part of this fight, and they're just excited to be able to show their stuff. And this fight, it doesn't disappoint, guys. Before it begins, Broly asked Whis, or maybe just asked out loud, like, who are they? And of course Whis has to explain because Broly doesn't know these guys. He's never seen them before. And it's funny actually when he explains it to him, because then Broly looks over at Goku and Vegeta, and remember, Broly like doesn't know how offspring work, like children work. I don't believe that he does, so maybe he really does believe that Goku and Vegeta created these two kids somehow. And or if he does know how kids are made, he could be thinking like, oh well, I didn't know that they were they had girlfriends or wives or whatever. Maybe this is an indicator that Broly's ready for that next step. And so with Carmine's henchman as the cameraman, the fight between Goten and Trunks versus Gohan commences. Now Gohan goes right off the bat into Super Saiyan, and I can tell you exactly why. Gohan, even though he got a big power up, even though he's got a really badass transformation and he's one of the strongest, if not the strongest right now on planet Earth, yeah, he's still like rusty. He physically is rusty. He hasn't been training, and so with Goten and Trunks already been training and they're fighting in unison, and basically they started honking their own horn, being like, hey, us together, yeah, we got this, man. Of course he's gonna go into Super Saiyan. He doesn't want to look like he doesn't want to look a chump in front of his dad. He doesn't want to be taken by surprise either, and it makes a lot of sense. I like that Gohan is thinking ahead like this, but really he doesn't have to worry too much because Goten and Trunks, they're fighting like superheroes, basically. They're fighting in unison, obviously, but they're not strong enough to really push Gohan in any sort of direction. Although it is a cool little tidbit here that the new Saiyaman are fighting the old Saiyaman. That's actually pretty cool. When Goten and Trunks go into this move that I know is going to be in Sparkling Zero and Fighters, whenever these two drop this Cyclone style tornado thing, double hurricane, when they use this move, Gohan literally jumps over it, and that's basically it. Goku even says, sheesh, all that wasted movement, because yeah, they're throwing these attacks and just wasting a lot of energy. And even Gohan's like, hey, take off the headgear, because you guys couldn't even see me enough to like move with me, like try to grab me, like, so take off those helmets. And they do more than that. They both go into Super Saiyan. Now, 2 Super Saiyans against Gohan Super Saiyan, regardless of the power-up, is going to be a little bit difficult for him, and it proves so. I mean, Gohan literally is just a Super Saiyan here, so it makes a lot of sense that he would still be, you know, kind of taken aback by 2 Super Saiyans. Broly's commentary here, like, oh, what, they can transform just at will like that? And Whis is like, most of them can on Earth. It's kind of like all this fighting is giving Broly so much education on combat that I know we're about to get into a Broly training arc here soon. And Broly training with all the Z fighters is going to be bars. I guarantee you, like, this is about to happen. The fighting itself is pretty cool, but the only reason that both of them are pushing Gohan back, it's because it's 2-on-1. And even though Gohan says that, man, you guys have been really training, I thought you were just goofing around. I mean, realistically, he's just kind of, you know, sparring with them. He's not really playing around too rough, at least not in this case. But like I told you guys, even Gohan says, hey, they've been training. So he understands that they've been training. That's why he's not fighting both of them in his base, because he knows that, you know, there could be a condition where they could be more powerful than him. He doesn't want to look like a chump in front of his dad. So that's why he decided to go into Super Saiyan. So the fight between all of them kind of continues, and Goten and Trunks say they're fighting to protect their loved ones, which is awesome. I like that. And I think that the fight itself really isn't going any direction. I feel like Gohan, if he really tried, if he really went into that Super Saiyan 2 mentality, he could defeat them here, but he decides, you know what, he needs to like end this fight and maybe just kind of like get more familiar with the base form to Beast. He goes into Ultimate, which is funny because that's exactly what Goten and Trunks call it. They call it Ultimate. I think this is the first time we're hearing Ultimate outside of video games here. So, I mean, they say Ultimate. I like Ultimate, even though most of the time that I've heard this transformation, it was Mystic. But Gohan doesn't seem to be a fan of it. And they don't seem to be a fan that Gohan is powered up into this form, because they are not even close to being this powerful. They decide to use Fusion. And this could have been a really awesome defining moment for these guys. And I think in a way it is, but not in the way that they wanted it to be. Because even after some practice, lo and behold, the fusion fails. And I think it fails because I think we're done with this character Goten. I think we're done with the fusion dance. Even Goku's like, oh wow, look, they remember the dance. Like, it's just, you know, it doesn't seem to be like a gag that is just wasted here. It's a gag because they're not going to be doing it anymore. They're going to be focusing on them as individuals, and if they fuse, it's going to be at a much more powerful, in a much more high stakes situation where they actually complete it, because this Gotenks gets completely mollywopped by Gohan. One kick and that's it. So now we finally get into the heat of it, and this is exactly what everybody's been waiting for. And even Goku says, let's go into our best moves, our best forms. And Beerus says this is Goku's best trick. So this is the most powerful Goku is. And Beerus is showcasing that. And then Gohan goes into Beast, surprising everybody, even Vegeta. Everybody's surprised. Even you can see Whis and especially Beerus right here kind of surprised with the energy. And this is the fight that we've been waiting for. And I know a lot of you guys have been confused as to how I'm power scaling Goku and Gohan up to this point. And so I figured I have simplified the way that I explain this, the message. I have simplified it for you guys. That way you guys know exactly where I'm going with this when I say who's going to win and why with the information that we have. So go ahead and check this out. So just to simplify it, obviously I'm not the best artist, but this is my simplification as to why Gohan wins over Goku with all the information we currently have as of today. No added information at all. So we see here that Gohan has no time limit that we know of for Beast Gohan. He may, but he has not shown that he has any time limit whatsoever. Goku has a time limit for Mastered, which is exactly what he's using. On top of that, Gohan literally one-shotted Cell Max. So to me, that showcases that, yeah, this is a serious dude. He's already on an echelon of power that other fighters are not. And if you don't remember, Orange Piccolo was basically throwing hands with Cell Max, but couldn't quite defeat him. The same Orange Piccolo that is stronger to the point where the Gammas couldn't do anything toward him, you know, he is stronger than them. Why is that important? Because Goku and Vegeta, their Super Saiyan Blue transformations, the Gammas are about as powerful as the Super Saiyan Blue transformations. So, that being said, you can see where I'm going with this. The hierarchy of power has completely changed. Even though the God Key may have some benefits for the Super Saiyan Blue transformations that we don't really see it yet, this is clear cut as to why Gohan wins. And I know what you're going to say, Ultra Instinct. Cell Max completed. I'm just going to call him completed Cell Max because it's not perfect Cell Max. And the reason he's not perfect is because he was only just supposed to have a brain. You know, and that was basically it. It's not like he had to like absorb people to get perfect. It's just completed. And he would have been brainwashed and mind controlled. But Cell Max completed with a brain would have been as strong as Broly. That's what the power scaling and coming from Toei says. We have imperfect Cell Max and Goku. Gohan said that Goku and Vegeta would have a hard time defeating. He'd be surprised that they could defeat imperfect Cell Max, the same guy that was throwing hands with Orange Piccolo. Now, don't mind my imperfect Cell Max, that he looks a little bit like Homer. Again, that's not the point. Goku, at least as far as Gohan knows, while he makes this statement, Goku, he knows that he can go into Master. He saw it himself at the tournament. He saw it himself in the Moro arc. So he is taking that into account. Whether he knows about Ultra Ego, that's besides the point. He knows about Goku. Then we have Gogeta. Gogeta defeated Broly. That's how strong Broly is. He defeated him relatively easily. So I would say Gogeta would be stronger than completed Cell Max. If Goku at the time could have defeated Broly with Ultra Instinct, he would have used it. He did not. And so at the time, we know that Gogeta is the hierarchy of power. He's the strongest one. He defeated Broly relatively easily. So with all that and the power that I am showcasing to you guys, Gohan, with the power that he's got, without knowing anything else, is stronger, or his transformation is not only stronger, but more stable than Goku's. And the hierarchy of power proves that. Now, if there's anything else that happens that we don't know about up until this point, whether Goku's been training, whatever the case is, that we don't know, Gohan right now, from the information we got, is stronger than Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. At least in pure strength. So there you go. Whis says this is a spectacle, just like he said earlier, and Beerus is upset. But the fighting commences, and this is basically the exact same fight that we saw before, and I, after the chapter has come out, have not changed my mind on what it looks like. Because we really don't get much of the fight that we didn't get in the leaks. It kind of ends at exactly where the leaks ended. So we don't get much more of this fight. But I stand by what I was saying. Gohan is literally chasing Goku. And not only that, he is striking him in several of these shots. You can see impact frames. So if Beast Gohan is fast enough to chase Goku and fast and strong enough to leave impacts on a transformation that's supposed to automatically dodge, then yeah, I think that Gohan has the upper hand here. At the end of this chapter, exactly what I've been saying from the start, Gohan has the upper hand. And at the end here, we get Beerus upset about his planet. So this is where we get to what I was saying earlier about Beerus. In this entire interaction, as soon as Goku brings everybody to the planet, Beerus is upset. Beerus is upset because he's just bringing people to the planet. Beerus is upset because they're about to fight. Beerus is upset with the destruction of the planet itself. And this is an entirely different reaction that Beerus had than when Broly, Chilai, and Lemma were on the planet in the beginning of Superhero. He was kind of irritated. He fell in love relatively quickly with Lemma and especially Chilai. It's the same thing when Vegeta went to the planet. He was a little upset, but not to this extent. Beerus is actively pissed off here, not only because they're destroying the planet, but because Goku decided to bring Gohan to the planet. Because I can't imagine him being upset with him bringing the Carmine and his goon, or Goten and Trunks, because he didn't even know, he didn't know anything about them. He is upset because Gohan is here, and Gohan is literally one of the biggest threats to Beerus from planet Earth. And he is worried about him. Remember, this is the same guy that had the nightmare about the Super Saiyan God, and then was told the prophecy to the Super Saiyan God, and then had Frieza kill the Saiyans, not remembering if those two are related or not, but he did have Frieza kill the Saiyans. So this is a guy that's actively worried about the Saiyans. And in that time, he has seen more and more Saiyans get more and more powerful. But here's a Saiyan that has no connection to God Ki, no connection to unbridled power like Broly, where it comes out of nowhere that he can't control. This is a guy that deliberately has had it foreshadowed that he has access to this potential and this transformation since he was a kid, and then activated it enough to be stronger than possibly Master Ultra Instinct. And so Beerus is probably upset because of the fact that Gohan is here with his transformation, and he is a legitimate threat. Beast Gohan could be a god killer, and honestly, he could be in that same wavelength as Beerus. A few chapters back, Beerus was telling Goku that, hey, if you train enough, I could recommend you for God of Destruction. You can take my job. So Beerus is actively aware about the fact that his job, the strength that he holds, it's something that's getting eclipsed here by the Saiyans of Universe 7. Like, in all honesty, it is. And now we have one that is a brand new one that just transformed relatively easily, and then is now really much stronger than Goku, who he's seen train and get stronger through years of combat. And so he's probably worried about this situation. He doesn't know Gohan. He didn't know Gohan going into this. Gohan's a perfect stranger to him. Remember, he didn't remember that Goku had a son. So the fact that Beerus is treating this situation so harshly from the very beginning, to me, tells me that Beerus is not comfortable with Gohan being on this planet, and he's probably getting upset and worried that there's so many Earthlings or so many mortals that are becoming this level of strength, like Jiren, where Belmont only had to really worry about Jiren and possibly Toppo. Beerus has to worry about Goku, Vegeta, Broly, Gohan, and now even Frieza. So yeah, this is probably why he doesn't want him on the planet, even though he's saying they're wrecking the planet, they're not asking me for permission, all that stuff. I think it's just because he doesn't want them on the planet because of the fact that he's worried about the situation with how strong Gohan actually is. He's worried about his true power and his intentions to the stranger that he doesn't even know. And going to Beerus' planet, I mean, is a one-way ticket to getting stronger. He knows that because that's what everybody else is doing. And the fact that Whis doesn't really care is probably making him more worried too, because Whis doesn't give a shit about the universe, while Beerus kind of has to. But let me know what you guys think of this. Am I reaching here too much? Was he as upset with everybody else too? Is this his limit? Because I think that he's acting completely different now than with any other guest on his planet. But let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. To me, it was a banger. I loved it. I cannot wait for the next one.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.